Funding provided by...
Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are committed to building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
We just had the Blue Bloods of the 2000s with some also pretty strong teams of the 2000s as we get ready for our fourth and final game here at the Unidome in Cedar Falls as night has now fallen all around the area, and we are not done yet. We have one more to go. It's the Iowa High School Athletic Association's football championships right here on Iowa PBS. I'm Paul Yeager. Sorry for all the yelling. I'm just so excited because we're 3 games down on this first of 2 days of championships coverage, and there's still one more to go tonight. Of course, it's all free to you anywhere in Iowa and online across the globe. You can catch the broadcast on iowapbs.1. You can stream the games online at our YouTube channel or at iowapbs.org, as well as the IHSAA.org website. And don't forget, we also have that PBS app, which is fantastic as well. Download that and watch. Up next, it's Cedar Rapids Xavier versus Pella in the 4A championship. Before we meet the teams, let's find out how they made it here. Let's take a peek at how the 2 teams advanced. And it was Pella and Sergeant Bluff to open up the semis. They met at state baseball 4 months ago. Here they are in football. Emmanuel Deers. Get used to seeing Emmanuel Deers in his pink shoes running for the end zone. This guy is all-purpose, number 2 in the state in 4A. He has a 16-yard run. And then it's Beckett Veras. He has the 9-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 7. Then it's Michael Manning, the quarterback who earned the job in the summer workouts, finds Logan Vanderbrook. It's 21-7 Dutch at the half, and then it's Deers to finish things off as he plunges his way into the end zone. 35-14, Dutch advance. First-year coach, new coach, same result. They're back in the title game. In the other half, it was Newton and Xavier, which might have been the best semifinal that we had last week. It's Newton and Xavier. Newton's 29th playoffs, and Caden Klein is going to go on a 58-yard touchdown run. He had 171 yards on the day. Whew, I'd be tired too, but he's excited. It's a quarterback show. It's Cash Parks. He's going to put it in from 1 yard out to score for Cedar Rapids Xavier. And then Newton Klein again on the 1 yard run. We're tied at 24 with 7.5 to play in the fourth quarter. And then it's Parks' second 2 yard touchdown run. He only had 21 yards, but 2 of those yards came in touchdowns. Xavier holds on to win 31-24. Whew! You think that was fun? Guess what? Sean Kenny and Kevin Bowman, they're going to have the game call, and this one is going to be exciting. We've been great so far. We are back in a moment. You are watching the finals here on statewide Iowa PBS. Settle in. 4A coming your way next.
We move into the evening hours in Cedar Falls. Primetime football underneath the glitter of the Unidome as we welcome you to the Class 4A state championship. 11-1 Pella matched up against top-ranked and unbeaten Cedar Rapids Xavier. And a pleasant good evening. Sean Kenny alongside Coach Kevin Bowman. So great to have you with us. Kevin, it feels like we've been down this road before because we have the 9th all-time meeting between these two teams. And wouldn't you know it, they're split 4-4, the rubber match tonight.
How about that? Hey, it's the veteran coach, Dwayne Schulte with Cedar Rapids Xavier, 32 years of experience. He's taking on the young guy from Pella. And it's going to be an interesting matchup. How will Ben Ballard and Pella Dutch match up. Two traditional powerhouses meet in this 4A final.
A combined 7 state titles between these two programs. As we take a look at tonight's impact players, let's start with Pella. And they have a dynamite running back, and Emmanuel Deers. The senior has really been unstoppable this year, and he rushed for close to 200 yards in the semifinals. On the other side for Xavier, Cash Parks. This guy has this offense going at a high pace, over 2,000 yards through the air. He is Class 4A's top-ranked passer. You move into the keys of this football game between two programs who know each other extremely well.
Yeah, that's the best part for me is that you look at Xavier defensively. How are they going to have their alignment and assignment communicated? Pella's going to have all kinds of motions. This is therefore communication is going to be the key, and they need to move the chains. The best defense is a good offense. For Pella, you need to stretch Xavier defensively, vertically and horizontally. Make them cover the entire field. And then you have to create some turnovers. You need to win that battle.
Meeting of the captains, the coin flip coming up. You take a look at these two teams. Top-ranked Xavier, they've been #1 really since week 1. 12-0 this year. A win against Waverly Shell Rock in the second round. A quarterfinal win against a very good ADM team from Dallas County, 45-7. And then the thriller in the semifinals,
gentlemen,
taking down Newton. Let's listen into the coin flip.
On a very successful season, which has earned you now the right to compete in the Iowa High School Athletic Association 4A State Championship. Tonight, as captains, that's a privilege. As captains, demonstrate great sportsmanship, leadership, making your student body, your parents, your coaches proud. Play with integrity, win with dignity. Pella, you're the visitors. It's your choice. You've won the toss. Pella has won the toss, elected to defer their choice to the second half. Xavier will receive. Gentlemen, shake hands. Let's have a great game.
Year 1 for Bim Ballard. It still seems so odd not to see Jay McKinstry along the sideline for the Little Dutch, but this is the guy he entrusted the program with, a longtime assistant. And now on his first trip to the Unidome, he has guided Pella into the state finals. The 2003 Pella grad went on to star at Central. Loves the city, loves the community, loves Jay McKinstry in this program, and on the cusp of another state title. Dwayne Schulte, year number 32, closing in on 260 career wins. He led Cedar Rapids LaSalle, won 25 games for that program before the merger in Cedar Rapids with LaSalle and Regis, and they became Xavier in '98, and this has been a juggernaut ever since. Always an electric atmosphere inside the Unidome. Both of these communities have traveled well. The prevalent green of Pella having some fun already. The Little Dutch winning the toss, deferring, so it will be Cedar Rapids Xavier first as the kick sails through the end zone for the touchback. High-powered offense, high-scoring attack led by Cash Parks, the 6' 2" junior quarterback, a 2-year starter, has his name pretty much cemented atop many of the 4A rankings, and this is his supporting cast. It's a really good offensive line. Carter Hoffman, a 1,000-yard rusher, and he has plenty of weapons on the outside. Sam Luke, Ryan Kelly, the home run hitter. Xavier from the 20-yard line. They will test the waters on the ground and cut down. That was Ty Van Vliet. A hard-hitting Pella defense when you take it the starters and who they will send out there tonight. Not real deep. You'll see a lot of guys go both ways. They love their front four. The linebacking core is active as anyone. And this secondary headlined by Rex Ramey, they make plays. Ramey 6 interceptions this year. Second down and 9. They go back to the left side. This time a crevice opens up and a first down rumble up to the 33-yard line for Carter Hoffman, a pickup of 12.
Yeah, the Saints pull their guard, and they also have their H-back coming across. Big hole. Carter Hoffman has seen this all season. You know, Coach Schulte complains that sometimes he's worried about not getting a first down in an entire game. Second play of the game. Boom. There it is.
Did not have to wait long in this one, under a minute. First down, it's a quick hitter to the fullback over the left side, Dustin Cook. You know, that's an interesting story. You bring up the first down. This has been a tradition that he has worked with his longtime statistician, Dave Gearhart. Dave, a 1971 LaSalle grad, has kept stats for the program for 53 years. So they always talk before a game if they're going to get a first down. So humble. What a great story. Dave, keep those stats coming. Second down, they check down, and this one in and out of the hands. Carter Hoffman might have had those eyes take a sneak peek up ahead.
Yeah, I like how Xavier's starting this game. They're going to run what they typically do. They're going to be under center. And then now they're trying to spread it out a little bit more, get the ball to their running back out in the open field. Unfortunately, he can't handle the pass.
Third down and 8. Pella will bring a pressure off the edge. The throw broken up. Blake DeHeis got the hand in there, and after the initial first down, the Little Dutch will force a punt.
Yeah, the corner, Blake DeHeis, just breaks on this ball extremely well. Quarterback lets go on time. He just needs to get a little bit closer to the sideline, but a great play by the senior, Blake DeHeis.
Anthony Trotta on the punt. Rex Ramey awaiting the kick at his 30-yard line. Left-footed kicker barely got it away. It's off the side of his foot. Bounces dangerously close to Ramey, who picks it up. And then he is ambushed right away. 39 yards in the punt, a return of just a yard. Good job downfield special teams-wise by Rex Commenda.
So here's a moment we've been waiting for, Sean. Here comes Emmanuel Deers and the Pella offense. Exciting because you know he's going to get the ball as much as possible. They're going to feed him. Well, I also want to point out their left tackle, number 51, Benjamin Griffin. He's their best offensive lineman. And you'll see him listed along with the rest of the offensive line. 210, 250, 240, 215, and 285 with Griffin.
Michael Manning, the first-year quarterback. They showcased a wildcat look there for a moment with Deers. Now they go back to the traditional quarterback from the gun. Manning, the 6-foot, 175-pound senior, is going to throw it out of the flat, making the catch. Up ahead, it's the tight end, Austin Schulte. And a good start for Pella, pick up a 14.
And defensively for Xavier, defensive lineman number 81, Nolan Wilgenbush, 6 foot, 210 pounds, and their linebacker, 34, Jack Schimberg, captain of the team, 30 tackles, 3 for a loss.
First down from the 40-yard line. And it will be really truly one of the best workhorses in the state of Iowa when you see the volume and the load that he has really taken on with this Pella offense. Is 276 carry this season for Emmanuel Deers.
Yeah, remember in the semis he had all kinds of carries too. 33 carries for 197 yards with 3 touchdowns. Xavier, once again, they're going to have to recognize how Pella lines up make the adjustments right now, communicate to each other.
A lot of pre-snap motion, and they have a wide open slot. They don't go to him. Instead, they swing it out to Deers, who has room to run, picks up a downfield block, and is finally tackled by Carson Mahoney. So much pre-snap movement that time, and it caught Xavier out of position. They had the numbers game.
Yeah, and no one got a hold of Deers at 38 receptions on the season for 370 yards. He has to be accounted for no matter what. It's easy to do that with those pink shoes. And here's the thing. As an old English teacher, I've got to apologize to all my former students when I say the word Deers. I know that they're going to be questioning me on this later, and I'm going to get a phone call from the grammar police.
22 yards on the completion. Deers is out of the game here, and now a flag flies. This will be 5 yards on Pella.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 53. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Trace Hopkins, the senior left guard. Offensive line headlined by a couple of two-year starters. Palmer Hemming at center, Benjamin Griffith over at left tackle. Hopkins, a first-year starter. All-state choir. This is a real popular kid around Pella. Homecoming king and all. Love it when an offensive lineman rules homecoming. First down and 15. They swing it out. First touch of the day for Harrison Mullins, trying to pick up a block, but Xavier closed the gap pretty effectively.
Yeah, Pella really stretching the field here with trips to the left side. A nice little bubble route going, and picked up a couple blocks. 2nd and 11.
Mullins is the home run hitter for Pella, averaging a whopping 17 yards per catch, and he had a big catch in the semifinal win. Went for a touchdown. 2 catches, 75 yards. He can stretch the field. And you see a lot of the shifting. They will bunch everybody up 4 to the top of the field, the boundary side. So what do? They look for Mullins just beyond the outstretched fingertips of the speedster Mullins.
And Pella goes with the diamond formation to the left, and they get the one-on-one matchup that they wanted with Mullins, and just over his head. But I think they're going to come back to that a couple more times in this game. They have a corner that they want to pick on, and they will probably continue to do that.
Third down, Manning looks, pocket collapsing. He's sacked back at the 40. The Saints got to him.
Number 81, Nolan Wilgenbush coming in. That's 3 sacks for the season. He's a kid that played extremely well in the semifinal game. Keep an eye on him throughout the night.
It's a big play by Wilgenbush. That takes them out of any thoughts of a field goal for Niall Rowe, so they will send out the punter to try to pin Xavier deep. Looking to angle it to the far side. This will take a bounce as it sails out of bounds, and let's see where they are going to mark it. Still walking up the sideline, and 17-yard line is where Xavier will have it following the punt of 27. Taking a venture with Iowa PBS on Road Trip Iowa. Join host Brooke Colesdorf as we travel the state's highways and scenic byways, exploring the history, culture, and natural beauty along the way. Road Trip Iowa, Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m., Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Iowa PBS, or stream online anytime. Second offensive series for Xavier, and they give it to Carter Hoffman. Hoffman started his career as a wide receiver back in his sophomore year. They moved him to running back last year, and he just took off. 1,000-yard season as a second-team All-Stater, and he has picked up this year where he left off a season ago. Second down, zipping it toward the far side. It is caught near the first down. Forward progress should net enough as they mark it at the 27. Sam Luke the target, and Luke with the catch, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, I really like what Cash Parks did here on this set. He had a nice drop, gets his back foot set and pushes off it and delivers a dime right to his wide receiver. First down.
They spread the ball around with the receiving core. It truly is an offense that is one of the more balanced. Here they work the end around, and getting to the corner for a moment was Kelly, and then a jarring hit from Blake DeHeis. Boy, he found him and he dropped him quickly.
Yeah, and Ryan Kelly didn't do a very good job of reading this block, because as he makes the corner, he's got a lineman out in front of him, and he runs basically in the back of his line.
Yeah, you're right. That was Jasper, the center, who got out there. It looked like he blew a gasket too. The turf came up and got him just as he was ready to make a move, and that forced him into a stumble mode into the center, Jasper. Second down and 6. Inside 6 minutes to go. They work the quick screen game. Ryan Kelly, and back-to-back first downs for the Saints.
Yeah, and I like this because they send one guy in motion, and then they bring their fullback, number 5, Dustin Cook, across. And pound for pound, this is a kid I really like on Xavier's team. He just seems to do a lot of things really well.
Swift moving first quarter. Second offensive series of the night for Xavier. Kelly goes right. Cook, the fullback, in motion. Play fake. And a throw is caught. Somehow it worked its way through a couple of Pella defenders and on to the Dutch side of the field for the first time tonight. Again, it's Sam Luke.
Yeah, Pella's Austin Schulte jumps this route, tries to get in front of it, and just misses it. And Blake DeHeis does the same thing, and that leads for more yards for Xavier as they continue to march downfield.
20 yards on the completion to Luke. He will check out of the game for a quick breather, replaced by Brady O'Donnell. Parks, back-to-back completions, has Xavier in business. 1st and 10 at the 42. They will hand it off. Hoffman lassoed down as he plunges ahead to the 39. David Garner, the first one to greet him.
Yeah, and Xavier, Coach Schulte and his son Reggie calling the offensive plays, dialing up a good mix, a run and pass here.
7th play of the drive coming up for the Saints. Tight box as they will run it to the left side, and Pella providing the resistance. Garner again, back-to-back plays. He had help from Kyler Van Manen.
Yeah, the linebackers are playing well for Pella, and they are really trying to fill that box, making it very difficult for Xavier to run anything inside the 2 tackles.
These linebackers so active. When you see Nate Warner and some of the other backers, if they will rotate into the game. Aiden Halverson. 3rd down, 3rd and 6. It's a pitch left side, little bit of room, and a first down run for Carter Hoffman. They went wide that time. Good seal out block by Pladson at left tackle. Hoffman took it from there. It's a gain of 8.
Yeah, look at the receivers blocking downfield here too, and then on top of it, once again, number 5, Dustin Cook. Follow that guy. He always knows where the ball is, and if I am running with the ball, I need to know where number 5 is, because I will follow him.
Kelly and Luke split to the right of quarterback Cash Parks out of the I formation of Cook and Hoffman. They sweep it right side, cut back there for Hoffman, and they are picking up yards in chunks right now. The front 5 getting an initial push. They're blending the inside with the outside, and the result's a pretty sharp and crisp looking drive.
Yeah, 2 plays in which they've gone outside of the tackles and had some good yardage. That time I saw Hoffman plant that right foot and accelerate upfield for a good gain.
7 carries, 36 yards in this first quarter. Approaching 5 minutes of this drive for Xavier, and they will stick with the hot hand, and there he goes again into the second wave. First and goal for Cedar Rapids Xavier.
And the Saints are pounding the rock, pounding the rock. I love this, the mentality. Follow your offensive line. This is just good, hard-nosed football by the Saints.
Pella backpedaling a little bit. Let's see if the Dutch can dig their heels in and get a stop. First down and goal, why not? Give it to number 1, Carter Hoffman, snowed under at the 5.
Now keep an eye on the offensive line splits here as we get down into the goal line area. It looks like they're reducing them, trying to eliminate anyone from pinching. Now, if you're Pella, make sure you play inside shade on the wide receivers. Do not give up the slant.
They bring in Nolan Wilgenbush, number 81 at the bottom. He's going to come into the line of scrimmage, line up next to his buddy Pladson. Second down, Hoffman untouched, breezes his way. Touchdown, Xavier.
Now Carter Hoffman's going to get his name in the paper, but it's the work of everyone else on the offensive line and the fullback who deserve most of the credit. Here we go, swinging gate. This is what I love.
Ty Weiss adds the point after in a monster 12-play, 83-yard drive, and Carter Hoffman was not touched.
A monster hole for him, and what an impressive drive by Xavier, marching up and down the field. You know, they found that they got stuffed a little bit in the middle, and then they started to run off tackle. Just a great drive for the Saints.
From artists and dreamers to everyday Iowans with inspiring stories, explore what makes our state shine on Iowa Life. Join host Charity Nevy Tuesdays at 6:30 and Sundays at 10:30 a.m. on Iowa PBS or stream online anytime. Dwayne Schulte and Cedar Rapids Xavier. 12-play, 83-yard drive. And it's the Saints who draw first blood tonight on a Thursday night in Cedar Falls. 7-0 Xavier.
Sean, so far Hoffman has 10 carries for 58 yards. That's a great first quarter.
This is a program that is used to playing in the Dome, and really you could make the case for both of these programs, but for Cedar Rapids Xavier, they are back in the Dome for the 10th time since 2012. I mean, just think about the consistency year in, year out. New athletes each and every season. Ball jarred free on the return, and it looks like Pella got back on it. Near disaster avoided there for the Dutch as Jesse Chapman able to get back on it for Pella.
And when we talked with Coach Schulte, you know, one of the big things that he pushes, multi-sport athletes. He wants the kids to be out for as many sports as possible, but one thing in exchange, be in the weight room also. And that means the other coaches have to promote that, and it must be working because Xavier does well on all their sports.
You know, that was refreshing to hear when we talked to all of the coaches and all of them pushing go out for multiple sports, and that takes cooperation among all the coaches in these high schools. Emmanuel Deers says it's my turn now. After watching Carter Hoffman do his thing, it's Deers with just a second rush in this first quarter. Good yardage outside left tackle.
And Deers made a nice step inside, got the corner to take a step with him, and then he got around the corner. And you have to contain him. As a corner, you want to force all the action back inside.
Max Doherty, who made that last tackle, one of the younger starters in the defense, only a sophomore. Inside a minute to go. Trips right, Mole in the inside slot. They look the opposite way. Tight window, and this one jolted free. Tried to sneak it in there. There wasn't a lot of room, and big hit put on by Schimberg.
Oh, the captain for the Xavier Saints comes in and crushes, and I believe that's a sandwich. Deers in the middle. Wow.
Jack Schimberg is the heart and soul of this defense. He is one of those guys that says, grab me, hop on those shoulder pads, I'll carry us a long way. 3rd down and 3. They have man coverage at the bottom. They swing it out. Deers will lower the pads, and he won't get there. What an open field tackle by Caleb Lofswold. That's tough to do. He's out on an island, but he won the leverage battle with Deers.
Lofswold's given up some weight there, too, and that's just impressive. He got his shoulder pads underneath Deers and made a nice tackle.
Four-second differential, game clock to play clock. Kick is away. Ty Weiss will scoop it up on the short hop. He will change direction, come all the way across the field. A lot of east-west, not so much north-south there, and Samuel Manning with the special teams tackle.
Yeah, Samuel Manning, just a sophomore, 6'1", 180 pounds, getting his chance to shine on special teams. Good job.
Xavier offense that has dominated the opening 12 minutes. 7 first downs, 99 yards of total offense. It has been a balanced attack. Cedar Rapids Xavier, headlined by Carter Hoffman. Play fake by Parks. Wanted to go deep, now checks down. Good decision there, and that will take us to the start of the second quarter. Xavier, all facets. Saints by 7 after 1.
Paul Yeager here on a short break to speak with Jim Plegge. He's president and CEO of Bank Iowa in West Des Moines. So, Jim, tell me why Iowa Bankers supports Iowa PBS as well as boys athletics here in the state of Iowa.
Yes, Paul. The Student Athlete Achievement Awards are significant to Iowa student athletes and their communities because they not only recognize athletic excellence, but also academic achievement, leadership, and character. Through the program's 30-year history, the IBA has awarded more than $360,000 in scholarships to student athletes in football, basketball, and wrestling. These scholarships are a win for all of us because after graduation, we hope these students will work right here in Iowa.
And that support of those scholarships is incredible, right?
It is indeed. So much like the IBA supports the Iowa banks, we are committed to supporting students by investing in their education and financial future, which helps to build stronger communities. It reflects our commitment to community growth and long-term success across the state.
All right, Jim, thank you. All right, let's get back to the game.
At Athletic Association Championships, the Iowa Bankers Association honors student athletes who excel on the field, in the classroom, and in the communities with a Student Athlete Achievement Award and $1,000 college scholarship. The 2025 winner for the Class 4A is Caden Klein from Newton High School in Newton. Presenting the award is Troy Garton from FNNB Bank in Newton. Congratulations, Caden, and thank you to Troy and the Iowa Bankers Association for supporting this award.
Quite a year for Newton this year, and they push Xavier to the wire in the semifinals. Xavier winning 31-24, and solid opening quarter as we welcome you back to the Unidome. Start of second quarter action alongside Coach Kevin Bowman. Sean Kinney with you from Cedar Falls, and Pella reeling a little bit through the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, offensively, they had a nice drive, and then they got stuffed at the end of it when they got inside the 40-yard line. And then defensively, Xavier just able to move the ball, do it the old-fashioned way. The Saints always like to do it, pound it at you.
On second down, they will sweep it over the left side. Hoffman, not much luck, but he will move the sticks. Got enough up to the 45-yard line, hit by Garner.
Good solid run. You were thinking that the initial surge by Pella was going to prevent the first down, but Hoffman is just tough. Bring down both backs. Been very impressive.
They list Hoffman at 180 pounds, but up close he looks a little bit bigger than that, and he certainly runs bigger than 180. He is a load. Quick throw. They try to get some room for Ryan Kelly to work, but no luck. Ty Van Vliet, Austin Schulte sniffing out that play. Forward progress to the 47.
Xavier shifted. They moved the guy over, and that created an unbalanced line, and Pella did a really nice job of reacting to the bubble.
Short passing game so far for Cash Parks. 4 of 6, 37 yards in this opening half. They pull a lineman, bootleg left, underneath. This is the tight end, A.J. Evans, and he's a pretty easy guy to spot. At 6 feet 9 inches tall, he is already committed to play Division I basketball at James Madison in Virginia.
He's averaging over 18 yards per catch, too, and a big target, dragging across the field. Like you said, Sean, he is easy to find.
Caught a 20-yard touchdown last week in the semifinals, the win against Newton. His catch here has Xavier in plus territory. Parks, again, this quick passing game. Back-to-back catches for A.J. Evans as he spins up ahead to the 37. 11 more yards, move the chains, and Xavier, they have it all cooking right now.
Yeah, and you'll see A.J. Evans drag across the field. Quarterback finds him. And then when you put on top of it the other tight end, Nolan Wilgenbush, what a great combination of tight ends the Saints have.
What's the counter when you have an athlete like Evans at 6'9"? How do you tag team him and take him out of the offense?
The key is not allowing him to get off the line of scrimmage. You're going to have to come up and do whatever you can to prevent him to getting to his route.
Third catch of the game for Evans, 24 yards. They go back to the ground to look at Carter Hoffman. Hoffman into the secondary. Touchdown. Huge hole, 37 yards. Hoffman has number 2.
Oh, when we see the replay of this, we're talking about A.J. Evans making some nice catches. Watch him deliver a great block to spring Hoffman. 84. Man, 6'9", 215, and saying there's 2 parts of his game. Defense, one of the strengths for Pella this year, but right now Xavier having no problems whatsoever. Point after is up and through. The Saints, after an opening drive punt, they have found their offense on their last 2 possessions. 6 plays, 65 yards. And it's Carter Hoffman with a second rushing touchdown tonight. All set up with some short passes. You find your tight end, you get him rolling, and what happens? Everyone else, the linebackers start to drop back a little bit farther, opens up the hole. Dwayne Schulte, man, 1980 Cedar Rapids LaSalle graduate. He started his coaching career at Davenport Assumption he was joining his high school football coach staff at Assumption. That was Tom Kapatich. And Coach Kapatich won 2 state titles at LaSalle back in 1982 and 1983. Schulte had the opportunity to coach all 3 of his sons. They all played for him at Xavier. One of his sons, Reggie, the oldest, now on the staff.
Reggie, Bryce, and Quinn, they were all quarterbacks for their father. Pella from their own 5-yard line, straight up the gut with the return out to the 22-yard line.
Well, this is an important possession for Pella. They need to get some points on the board. They need to move the ball. They need to do something to spread the field, whether they do it vertically with some passes or maybe jet. I haven't seen them run their jet play yet.
Just 2 first downs for Pella in this first half. Counter type action with Deers running hard. 5 yards for Deers, just his 3rd carry of the football game, and that's simply because it's been Xavier and this offense on the field dominating the time of possession.
Pella's a little deliberate in the huddle. They like to do some of the motion, so when they're in the huddle that long, I doubt if they'll reset their formation.
Deers lassoed around the waist by Schimberg, and Pella with a very operational 3rd down and a little more than a yard.
Big 3rd down play for Pella. The Dutch need to move the sticks here. Let's see if Deers gets another touch.
They have everybody in. They go Wildcat. They have showed this on a few occasions. They've never actually went with it. This time they do, and that is a huge 1st down. Might not seem like much, but Pella needed something to get a little bit of traction, and Deers with a 3rd down carry. 3rd 1st down of the night.
Yeah, a little momentum now, a little confidence. It kind of changes how you walk up to the line of scrimmage, knowing you have some success. Time for a bootleg pass.
And it seems like when they have needed a big play, it's number 8, Mullins. So keep an eye on him. Sneaking through a little bit of a crevice. Goes Emmanuel Deers, another tackle for Schimberg. But Pella will take that all night long as they get 7.
Yeah, and the thing about Emmanuel Deers is he's not going to accelerate to a hole or to a spot. He's going to be very patient. He's going to wait for his lineman to create a crevice for him to accelerate through. But he's patient. He's patient as they come.
I like what Ben Ballard is doing here, getting a star running back a little bit of rhythm, getting him into the flow of this offense. They spin it to him again, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. These linebackers, they mean business. Bo Morio, junior linebacker, 62 tackles coming in. He is a Division I prospect, generating some interest.
Ben was a second-team conference baseball player, and he's second on the team with tackles with 62 so far.
Baseball is first love, but with the success he's had on the gridiron, it's quickly catching up. They show Wildcat, and Pella realizing this is an important down. They want to make sure everybody is on the same page, so they will use a timeout. Well, you look at this first half, a little surprising with the way Xavier has handled the front lines.
Yeah, they're doing a really nice job, Xavier, offensively and defensively. And the kid that I really like on the defensive line for Xavier is Wilgenbush. And you'll see him slant at times and also go around. Very good player.
Rising from the ashes for a 2nd consecutive season. We love this. It's college wrestling. The heart of the map beats right here in the great state of Iowa. Catch the grit, catch the glory in the champions of tomorrow. Featuring the Hawkeye women, the Iowa State men, NAIA action, Division II, Division III, as well as some doubleheaders. Join us as college wrestling coverage returns year 2 once again this December on Iowa PBS. 3rd down and 3 from the 41. Dropping it was Deers, and now he's in trouble. He throws a pass. Wow, what a crazy sequence. It falls incomplete.
I'm not sure who was the first person to touch that for Pella, but I thought it might have been an offensive lineman, and that would be an illegal touching.
88 was in the area. 4th down.
Bobbles the snap, tries to get away, desperately throws it in the air. Oh no, that's an eligible receiver. And he just gets his lunch handed to him afterwards.
Well, before the snap, we have a stoppage as this one gets punted into the Xavier cheering section below us.
Sean, I love the fact that Pella's punter wears number 65. This is Niall Rowe. He was a tight end last year. They moved him to the offensive line. And this is a kid that goes to the high school with a bag of footballs almost every day in the summertime and works on kicking. And how do you want to get better? You know, kids always say, well, I really want to get better. Well, you got to work at it. And that's a great example of how to do it.
He's had a really good year, both punting and kicking the football for Pella. Delay a game, pushes it back to the 36. Xavier coming after it, gets the kick away. This is angled toward the near side. Ty Weiss putting on the brakes, now turning it up ahead, and he'll return it to the 44. 32 yards on the punt, 9 yards on the return.
I know the score is only 14-0, but it seems like Xavier is just dominating this first half, and it feels like it's 21-0 or 28-0.
Everything they have practically called up is working in this first half. The short passing gain of Parks, that softens up the defense. Hoffman and this offensive line taking care of business with the ground game. On 1st down, and there he goes again, running through arm tackles. Hoffman onto the Dutch side of the field, all the way to the 39-yard line, and even behind the action, Ryan Kelly, the receiver, finishing a block 3 or 4 yards along the Xavier sideline.
Yeah, you'll see Kelly with a good block, and also the lineman number 59, Xander Armstrong, does a nice job coming around and getting to the second level.
17 yards for Hoffman. Already approaching 100 yards in this first half, and we still have 5.5 to go. Stop and go move by Hoffman. And a 1st down run takes it to the 34, 5 more.
I like the surge that the Saints are getting between the center and guard on the right side. Both of them had great get-offs and drove their defender backwards. And when you can do that to the defensive line, you're going to have a big hole.
Travis Jasper, the first-year starter at center. Renner at right tackle, the first-year starter. The team captain is over on the left side, and Andrew Pladson. He's the vocal leader of this front 5. 2nd down, Hoffman into the secondary, and it will be 1st down. Another trip into the red zone, another double-digit yard gallop, and they are just dicing away this Pella defense.
Yeah, offensive line is doing their job, but don't forget about number 5, that fullback Dustin Cook, first-team conference wrestler, hard nose, getting after it.
20 more yards for Hoffman. And he's doing this against a Pella defense that was so stubborn, really the strength of this team all year. Ben Baller, before he took over as head coach, he was Pella's defensive coordinator under Jay McKinstry. Xavier's going to use their first timeout.
Timeout.
Yeah, Pella is in a situation where they're loading the box. They had 7 players in the box on that last play, and that's probably a reason for the timeout.
Xavier with a couple of veterans on their coaching staff with Kevin Malloy and Dave Schreck. Both those coaches served our country. Malloy with the Army, Schreck in the Air Force. And Schreck was an All-American lineman at Air Force back in his day who moved to Cedar Rapids in 2008. His son Eric was part of the pullout of Afghanistan, was actually the COP coordinator of the Air Force planes pulling out. So what did Coach Schulte do before this postseason stretch? He had the two veterans talk to this team about overcoming adversity and the will to win, and it showcased itself last week. They were facing some adversity at halftime in the battle with a very talented Newton team.
Oh, when you have anyone from the Air Force come talk to you, I had the chance to listen to Chad Henning last summer, and what a fantastic, Outland Trophy winner, went to the Air Force, and then played, 7-8 years for the Dallas Cowboys, won 3 Super Bowls. The Air Force guys are just fun to be around.
Only 3-1 edge in total yards. Cash Parks, first down after the timeout from the 14. They pitch it. And Hoffman piles his way up to the 11. Halverson, the junior, 215-pounder, trying to slow him down.
And Xavier's just controlling the clock on top of this. They're shortening this game, taking the air out of the football. Pella has been going backwards. It's just been a good offensive drive again by the Saints.
Wilgen Bush into the game. Pella defense trying to find something positive. They need one of their playmakers to step up in a big way. 12 personnel. They float right. They throw it underneath. Making the catch is the tight end, A.J. Evans. Good open field tackle by DeHeis.
Yeah, this time they found the tight end in the bootleg coming across, and they identified that, stayed with him. But it's a great play call by Xavier yet. Now they're in a 3rd and short. Good scenario.
They ask Evans to do a lot of different schemes. They can use him a number of ways. Both Wilgen Bush and Evans at the line of scrimmage. 2 tight ends. They hand it off. Hoffman runs through one arm tackle, and 2nd and 3rd effort. See where they mark forward progress here. He ends up on his back at the 8. Garner, who has been the leader so far defensively, but I think forward progress might give Xavier enough for the first down.
Yeah, he's spotted inside the 5-yard line there, which was first down, and then gets pushed backwards.
Runners forward progress was stopped. Private ball coming in, resulting in the first down. Xavier.
Well, we have confusion along the far side. Chains are showing 4th down. But as we heard from our referee, he signaled first down. So now I believe they're noticing the chains are still indicating 4th. Okay, so it is a first down like he announced. They restart the clock with 3:06 and counting. 1st and goal, Cedar Rapids Xavier. Hoffman looking for number 3. Toss the hat. It's a hat trick in this first half for the senior. Touchdown Xavier. A statement tonight from Eastern Iowa.
A statement drive by the Saints, and once again Hoffman into the end zone, but followed the block of number 5 Dustin Cook. You're going to see him come out and get the defensive guy and drive him 5 yards the other way.
Ty Weiss will add the point after. Three possessions ever since an early punt. 3 straight touchdowns for Xavier, all 3 coming from Carter Hoffman.
Well, Xavier's having their way offensively right now, and when you can run the ball and defense can't stop it, That's just an overwhelming feeling, and you just have all the confidence in the world if you're on the Saints sideline thinking we can dial up whatever we want. Not a lot of time left here in the first half. Pella needs to get on the board. Let's see if they go to a no huddle right away and try to move the ball, push the ball downfield.
Kick will reach the end zone for the touchback on a day in which we have already crowned 3 state champions, all 3 very tight football games. Xavier, I'm sure, stunning a lot of folks as people just tuning in, checking out this 4A showdown. All Xavier, 21-0, 2:58 to go, and an all-important drive for Michael Manning, Emmanuel Deers, Harrison Mullins, and this Pella offense. They start at the 20, and this one goes through the hands, incomplete.
That's not how you want to start the drive off. Michael Manning just knows that he's trying to set it up. The decoy is Deers going to the left, and he wants to have a swing pass back to his right. He needs to move his feet and find him with his head first, and then move the feet and throw a better pass.
Manning in year 1 as a starter, coming off the best game of his career in the semifinals. He played really well in the Pella win over Sergeant Bluff Luton. Throws it along the far side, and a diving catch is made by Hunter Brummel, the tight end.
Yeah, Brummel makes an excellent catch here. He stretches out, gets the ball right before it hits the turf. That's his 10th reception of the year. Big play here on 3rd down with time going down under 2:30 right before half.
Pella 1 of 4 on 3rd downs in this first half. Where will Manning go with it? 3rd down and 5. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Manning flush. Watch out. He's swallowed up back at the 11. Austin Dostal. He had the radar locked on number 3, and he found his target. Big loss on the play. 14 yards on the sack.
Yeah, the sophomore at 6'3", 210 pounds, gets the corner, wraps up the quarterback, and he gets his 3rd sack of the year. Nice job.
Xavier wants more, so they are going to use a timeout. They're going to get the football in great shape. Stay in the know with Iowa Press. Be sure to join Kay Henderson and guest for in-depth conversations on the issues shaping Iowa. Tune in Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 12 noon on Iowa PBS, or stream online anytime.
So Xavier's known for returning punts extremely well. The thing is, are you really going to try and put some pressure and block this punt, or are you setting up the return? We'll see right away by how they line up. But remember, Niall Rowe is athletic, even though he's wearing number 65.
Weiss and Kelly, the 2 return men deep, and both are in plus territory awaiting this kick from Niall Rowe. Rowe standing 3 yards in the purple carpet of UNI. Gets the kick away. It's an end-over-end kick, and Weiss will let this one sideline past him out of bounds. Takes a fortuitous bounce for Zoe. 42 yards. Nicely done for the senior.
Yes, and Niall Rowe had like a kickoff rotation in that scenario, which I think caught Xavier returnman off guard, and it was a very good bounce. So let's see what Xavier can do with 1:58 left. Only one timeout.
What a half it's been for Hoffman. 3 rushing touchdowns, approaching 150 yards. Timeout to work. Minute 58 to go. They will pull a lineman. And yards after contact, we call it yak. And it just, quite frankly, looks like a deflated Pella team right now.
Yeah, they're on their heels, and Hoffman is just gaining speed, going downhill. That was a very impressive run again. Can't say enough about the offensive line and how hard Carter Hoffman is running.
Pella showed blitz with their safety. They back it off. Running wide is Hoffman behind Dustin Cook. And this time Pella able to stretch it out. Aiden Halverson cutting his way through.
And Xavier looks like they're in more of a hurry now, trying to get into the huddle and get in and out as quickly as possible, as we're under 1:10 at this point, and they still have that timeout.
When you're running the ball as well as they are, the play action pass can be a killer. Ryan Kelly, usually the guy they like to go deep with. They move the pocket right side, throwing on the run, and a juggle and a drop. It's a really good throw by Parks. He put it where only Kelly could make the play, but an uncharacteristic drop for the normally reliable 5'9" senior.
Yeah, and a good sprint out of action here with Parks, and he turns the corner to the right, and Kelly caught it once, caught it twice, and unfortunately dropped it.
Ryan Kelly wants to be sure to put on a show today. Almost a homecoming for his family. His parents originally from Cedar Falls. 3rd down and 8 on the delay. Slipping free is Dustin Cook. Tracked down at the 34 by Garner. They had him dead to right, but Cook was able to run through the arm tackle, and 4th down. Xavier in no hurry. Pella not stopping the clock, obviously.
Yeah, let's see if Xavier tries to go up and get Pella to jump off sides here. Keep an eye on Coach Schulte. He gets closer to the referee on the sideline. He may use a timeout.
Owen Vasquez, the kicker, a real strong leg. He is connected from 44 this year. They can pick up a 1st down. They might be thinking him. 4th and 3, and with the play clock winding down, Cash Parks looks over, and a timeout taken by Dwayne Schulte.
Well, Pella had the discipline right there not to jump off sides. A hard snap count with a good cadence and good discipline by the Dutch.
Dwayne Schulte is a big fan of Kirk Ferentz and his style of football. They just don't make mistakes, and this is a first half where they have not made mistakes.
Yeah, and Coach Schulte had 2 boys that went on to play football at Iowa, and Quinn was a quarterback and defensive back when he was in high school, and he just used up his eligibility last year and fine safety. I think he was a 3-year starter for the Hawkeyes, and man, Quinn was an incredible high school football player too.
And incidentally enough, his other son Reggie played right here in the Unidome for head coach Mark Farley. Could tell Reggie was a coach's son. I remember talking with Mark before an FCS playoff game, and he said Reggie might be one of the smartest football players you and I has ever had, just like his dad. So much intelligence, the IQ, football, X's and O's, adjusting 3+ decades of coaching along the sideline. There is some adjustment to the modern day athlete, and Dwayne Schulte has checked all the boxes. 4th and 3. Xavier does not have any timeouts. They're going to look for the sideline, and this one not there, incomplete. So Pella gets a stop. Ryan Kelly, the closest receiver, and the Dutch with 4 seconds to go will be anxious to regroup in the locker room at halftime. Keep in mind, Pella will get the football first to start the second half.
And I'm sure they will make some adjustments at halftime. And the big thing is finding Deers to get him the ball in different spots than they have so far in the first half. When they ran him in some swing passes, he's an excellent receiver too. Good hands, really good in the open field.
They dump it off to Deers. Deers with a lot of work to do, and he will get up to midfield before he is finally brought down. He was not going to go down without a fight, and that is the end of the first half. What a half for Cedar Rapids Xavier. A 2-1 edge in time of possession. They put up 237 yards of offense, and Carter Hoffman, not one, not two, but 3 rushing touchdowns.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bott, Executive Director and General Manager of Iowa PBS. We are your home for boys and girls high school sports championships. Our statewide network is the only local television broadcast available in all 99 counties of Iowa. And our public service mission ensures every Iowan can watch your team compete for a state championship, on air or online. Our focus is on the communities, coaches, and student athletes that represent the next generation of Iowans. While our mission to serve Iowa continues, we need your support now more than ever. Please consider supporting Friends of Iowa PBS and help power your statewide network.
Iowa PBS has been a part of my life as long as I've been watching TV. Our 2 daughters were raised on Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, and our granddaughter loves Daniel Tiger. Iowa PBS's programming has something for everyone, and I feel fortunate to be a member and have the benefit of watching a great show with Passport whenever I want.
Make your year-end gift by December 31st. Donate today and help inspire Iowans all year long.
Find your favorite programs this fall on Iowa PBS. Enjoy world-class musical performances. Go behind the scenes of fan-favorite cooking shows and learn the stories of iconic PBS hosts. Programs like these are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Donate now or increase your gift to ensure these beloved programs continue bringing joy and inspiration to Iowa viewers.
Find Iowa is your invitation to explore. Investigate the stories of our land, our history, and our communities. From science and nature to history and culture, there's always more to uncover. Go outside, get inspired, and explore with us. Scan the QR code or visit iowapbs.org/find.
Every year, Iowa's finest high school musicians gather in Ames for the Iowa All-State Music Festival.
Makes me want to sing, makes me want to shout. I can tell the world what I'm talking about.
Enjoy incredible performances from the 2025 All-State Band, Chorus, and Orchestra in Hilton Coliseum. 2025 All-State Music Festival, Thanksgiving Day on Iowa PBS.
We're Iowa PBS. We cover Iowa and the world. We're Market to Market and Iowa Press. We're high school sports. We're science. We're adventure. We're drama and mystery. We're the arts. And we're Iowa's storyteller. We're lifelong learners. We're family first. We're educational. We're trusted. We're valued. We're essential. Your support makes all of this happen. Give today at iowapbs.org/donate.
You're watching Statewide Iowa PBS.
Halftime inside the Unidome. Cedar Rapids Xavier just down 380. Leads Pella. 21-0 here at the break. It's really been all Xavier. But we'll get to them in a minute. But I want to tell you about one young high school distance runner who has already earned a top spot in the pantheon of accomplished competitors from Iowa, and soon he'll spread his wings on a larger stage at a college renowned for those with talents like his. But before he buckles in for that wild ride, he's basking in his senior year, cherishing time with the friends, mentors, and family who've encouraged him along the way.
Oh my God! Not the time to be sitting on your hands, track fans. We got the all-time best. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Nauman has put himself at the top of the national list. Unbelievable.
There are record breakers, and then there are blockbusters that deliver like a force of nature. With the tide he's ushered in, Western Dubuque's Quentin Nauman prefers to lift all boats.
Iowa right now is at its best it's ever been in distance running. It's really crazy to think about that, but you have the number 1 and number 2 milers, the number 1 and number 2 like 800 runners nowadays, and it's really great to see that.
Though he shares the glory, Nauman is the only high school junior in the United States to ever run sub-4 minute and sub-minute 50, 1600, and 800 meter races, respectively, at the same meet. He accomplished both feats in the same day at the 2025 state track meet, where he also notched top performances in the 3200 and distance medley relay.
Well, look out for Quentin Nauman now. Iowa versus Oregon. It's going to be Quentin Nauman.
Nauman padded his resume by hauling in an all-time Iowa high school best mile at an annual charity track competition in St. Louis. He won the same event at the Outdoor Nationals in Eugene, Oregon, where he has committed to run after graduation. While the University of Oregon is the traditional mecca for distance runners, Nauman still races away from height. After setting his monumental state and national records at Drake Stadium in Des Moines, he was right back stocking shelves at his local Hy-Vee.
He showed up to work here the next day, and he's like, well, I had to work. That's what I do. So, yeah, he's humble. He doesn't really like to be in the spotlight. He wears a stocking cap to kind of mask his image, so he's not necessarily recognized every time someone comes around the corner.
I just want to take one step at a time and just enjoy the time that I have in high school. I always tell people this is probably your best years of running you're going to get, whether you're JV, varsity, and just have fun with the sport when you're in high school, because when you're in college and when you're moving up in the world, you're going to start taking this sport really, really seriously. Yeah, I do take it serious now, but I'm still going to say I still have fun with my teammates.
He lives to run. Everything he does, it's to be the best that he can. And I for sure think that rubs off on us.
We all good?
Yeah.
We're all good? All right.
I truly believe that he could be an Olympian someday, so let's say that I ran with him, and he's one of my best friends, so let's say that I had that person in my life. Before all the fam stuff, it's pretty cool for me.
Nauman's passion was palpable at Western Dubuque's middle school summer camp, where high school athletes help mentor middle school runners.
I think he has a contagious personality to youngsters. They want to be around him, and he's a positive role model that I think our youth needs to have more of. He's a coach's dream.
He is somebody that's going to put in the hard work no matter what, and people see that, and people see him kind of do those hard things day in, day out. That's kind of his leadership style, is quiet confidence.
A trio of coaches have witnessed Nauman's progression since middle school. They tout his discipline, drive, and its origins.
We've had kids that have had real good work ethic, and we've had kids that have been really, really talented, but we haven't had a kid like Quentin that's kind of put them both together. I think some of it's the culture that we get set, but he's got a good family. His parents have done a great job.
My husband, every time he races, he has the whole bench moving, and I'm like, stop!
One leg really starts bouncing, and it just...
Yeah.
One of 4 children, Nauman's older sister, Kylie.
From Dubuque County, Kylie Nauman. She's currently training for a marathon in October.
A former Dubuque County Fair queen and Iowa State Fair contestant, may have persuaded Quentin to get off the couch away from video games and on his feet. But she avoids credit for the trailblazer born of their runs around Bergfeld Pond in Dubuque.
No, I don't think this is me at all. I just wanted a running buddy. He's not my running buddy anymore, clearly. But I just wanted a running buddy during COVID because, what else did we have to do besides spend all the time doing this?
His family says Quinton has always had a competitive nature, and his coaches add Nauman feels privileged to run alongside rivals, reflecting a strong sense of sportsmanship, respect, and joy.
When the gun goes off, you got to be competitive. That's just how it goes. But after it, I sometimes talk to the guys. I just enjoy talking to runners, get to know the kid, and also the realization that some kids don't treat it like a sport and they treat it like a job. I mean, yeah, it can be a job, but I feel like just having fun with the sport is just what you should be doing.
Quinton Nauman. Write that name down. Quinton Nauman. You are going to hear about him for a long time. And there's also a couple of other runners that have been pushing him at some of these other races that have helped him elevate his game. And when Mike J., the announcer you heard at the beginning of that piece, is excited about what he does, you know Quinton Nauman is someone special. And he just won his second state cross-country title a handful of weeks ago, sticking, listen to this, a 14:48.3. 14 minutes, 48 seconds winning time. It's the fastest in the state meets history by 8 seconds. 8 seconds! He's shattering records faster than we can set them and set that camera and tripod up before we can get it focused. He just, phew, there he goes. All right, he's certainly got a bright future ahead, as we said, headed to Oregon. You'll see him at the Blue Oval this spring. We are racing toward the second half of the 4A football championship here at the Unidome, where the score right now, 21-0 Xavier. We'll see how all 21 points were scored. We've got another good runner. That's your tease. We're back after this.
Settled before Iowa was a state, Davenport tells the tale of community, culture, and trade along the banks of the Mississippi River. A variety of architectural movements are preserved in Davenport in structures designed for civic and commercial life. Join Iowa PBS as we explore the arts and the architecture within the historic buildings of Iowa, Davenport.
Coming to Iowa PBS, December 2nd.
On the next Road Trip Iowa,
it's an important piece of history for our community.
we explore the southern stretch of Iowa's Jefferson Highway.
This is one of the perks of the job for sure.
This span of countryside offers unique attractions with soaring and shining views of our state. Saturday at 9 a.m.
Coming up on the next episode of Iowa Life, Caleb Wise grows creativity and tradition. Carlos Oliva becomes the Guatemalan dragon. And Midwest Pets for Life helps Iowans keep their pets close.
It breaks my heart to think they'd have to give it up.
All that and more on the next Iowa Life. Sunday at 10:30 on Iowa PBS.
Such a meaningful part of Iowa PBS is the coverage of unique Iowa events. And part of that is our high schools and our kids' programs, whether it's athletics or otherwise. The state fair coverage, that's such a part of the fabric of Iowa. And I think just the programming that covers things meaningful to our people in our state.
Donate today and support Iowa PBS.
Pella fans looking for the bright side of life. Xavier fans, they're smiling. They're up 21-0 right here at halftime of our fourth and final game of day one. So far, Garrigan beat Woodbine in an exciting 8-player game. MMCRU, Marcus Meriden, Cleghorn, Remsen, Union beat St. Ansgar. In 1A, we had our first 1A overtime game. West Lyon beats Regina, and now here we are with Pella and Xavier. So, one thing that we haven't been able to show you, well, okay, who am I kidding? We've seen a lot of this guy. You're going to see him a lot here. It's very fitting that one is involved in that score because one player is dominating for Xavier right now. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. If we could please those ladies and gentlemen in the truck. Great job as always. Carter Hoffman. Carter Hoffman. Picking up my theme here. Carter Hoffman there. That's touchdown 1. And look at that block. And that's touchdown number 2. That's 37 yards. And then Hoffman is going to take the sweep and get into the end zone. That is touchdown number 3. The senior has 20 carries, 160 yards at the half. He had 130 against Newton. Coach Schulte called him the classic Xavier tailback. That's classic football right there. 237 total yards, rushing 24, 178, as we mentioned. All but 18 are by Hoffman. Passing, they haven't needed to pass the ball. Time of possession's been Xavier. Pella's got a big mountain to climb, and they're going to have to find a way to get something done here in the second half. But we mentioned these championships. Look at those scores, 44-42, 30-17, and that game was closer than that score. And then you got West Lyon, Regina, that one went to overtime. And then this one, 21-0. Tomorrow, Friday morning, we begin at 10 a.m. for Van Meter and Kemper Catholic. That's Carroll, Kemper Catholic. Nevada, who's never been in the championship game, they're in the championship game against Bishop Heelan from Sioux City Heelan. Pretty sure you've heard them in the championship game before. And then our nightcap at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Iowa City Liberty, that's one of the newest schools in the state. They'll face one of the Dowling Catholic Maroons, who've won 7 straight. Then they haven't won in 6 years. They're trying to get that championship. And I'm trying to find out if she's got any ice cream left to share. I'll check in with you and let you know. We'll take a break. When we come back, we have our second half play in a moment, because that has been a fantastic day here, and that's a look at our halftime score. 21-0 here on Iowa PBS. We'll step away for a moment, come back. Sean Kenny, Kevin Bowman. They've caught their breath. They'll have the second half of 4A right after this.
Every year, Iowa's finest high school musicians gather in Ames for the Iowa All-State Music Festival.
Makes me want to sing, makes me want to shout. I can tell the world what I'm talking about.
Enjoy incredible performances from the 2025 All-State Band, Chorus, and Orchestra in Hilton Coliseum. 2025 All-State Music Festival, Thanksgiving Day on Iowa PBS.
Iowa PBS has been a part of my life as long as I've been watching TV. Our 2 daughters were raised on Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, and our granddaughter loves Daniel Tiger. Iowa PBS's programming has something for everyone, and I feel fortunate to be a member and have the benefit of watching a great show with Passport whenever I want.
Make your year-end gift by December 31st. Donate today and help inspire Iowans all year long.
Every county in Iowa has a story worth investigating. From river valleys to rolling farmland, Find Iowa uncovers the culture, history, and science behind all 99 counties. Click, explore, and be inspired. Scan the QR code and discover the stories in all 99 counties with Find Iowa.
Funding provided by
Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are committed to building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
Both teams making their way back onto the field. Halftime from Cedar Falls. What a show put on by Cedar Rapids Xavier, the top-ranked team in Class 4A. They lead at 21-0 over Pella. Sean Kenny, Kevin Bowman, so great to have you with us on this Thursday night. Coach, I'll tell you what, Xavier in the quest for their 5th state title, and they clearly dominated the first half, in particular this bruising ground game and Carter Hoffman.
Yeah, Carter Hoffman has done a really nice job, but give the fullback a lot of credit here. Number 5, he's just a junior, and he's banging like no one else, and he's going to be able to run the ball and catch the ball also. He's a 3-headed monster. I really like the fact that they can run behind him whenever they want.
Yeah, this offensive line is moving people around, and then the defense doing the job as well. They are containing a very explosive Pella offense, in particular Emmanuel Deers. We'll see if the Saints can keep it up in the second half. We'll take one final break. When we come back, the second half kickoff. Does Pella have enough in the tank to get back into this football game? The Dutch offense to be on the field when we come back.
Coming up on the next episode of Iowa Life, Caleb Wise grows creativity and tradition. Carlos Oliva becomes the Guatemalan dragon. And Midwest Pets for Life helps Iowans keep their pets close.
It breaks my heart to think they'd have to give it up.
All that and more on the next Iowa Life. Sunday at 10:30 on Iowa PBS.
Oh, that looks really good, especially on a warm, balmy day like it was in Iowa today. Temperatures were way up there. We made the walk across the street today to the Unidome in short sleeves. You don't do that too often come state championship time here in Cedar Falls.
No, you don't. And one of my favorite things that always took place in the days when Bob Schmidt was the PA announcer here, he would always say, hey, the temperature outside is whatever it may be. Inside the Unidome, 70 degrees.
That's a pretty good impersonation, Coach. Work to do, an uphill climb for Pella, but this is a team that has won so many close games throughout the course of the season, the winning culture that they have in the Pella community, so you know they won't go down without a fight as we start this second half. From the 5-yard line, up ahead, Tyson Roos, and Roos returns it to the 24. All right, let's talk adjustments, starting with the Dutch. Obviously, they need to get things going. You still take it one play at a time, though.
Yeah, you have to be patient. You can't get away from your run game. Obviously, when you have Emmanuel Deers, you need to find different ways to get him the ball, spread him out. Remember, we talked about getting Xavier vertically and horizontally, and that really hasn't happened in the first half.
Michael Manning, 6 of 9 for 64 yards in the first half. Deers had 3 of those catches, make it 4 as they go to him right out of the gate. And Cedar Rapids Xavier was just waiting. Sam Schimberg, the playmaker, he has been all over the field throughout the course of the season. And you see that last name, and that's a family legacy, linebacker tradition. The younger brother of Jack. That last name dating all the way back, really, to the Regis days.
Oh, yes, and you go back to the Regis days, and remember, that's a consolidation with LaSalle that made Cedar Rapids Xavier. And I always think of maybe the most popular Cedar Rapids Regis football player bagged some groceries here in Cedar Falls for a while.
Threw the ball around in this venue that we're enjoying as well.
That's right, Kurt Warner
would sneak in during the overnights. They go to Deers, twisting his way on the right side, makes a defender miss. Emmanuel Deers won't go down. If there's somebody in the white and green tonight that can ignite this squad, it's Emmanuel Deers.
And that's just a sample size of what the man can do with the ball. You see him get to the outside, jump cut, and then patient enough to let another blocker get in front of him, read that, and get some additional yards.
Third down for Pella, opening drive of this third quarter. The Dutch 1 for 5 on third downs tonight. Manning wants to get rid of it quickly and really had no clean throw. Vandenbroek was the receiver he wanted to go to, but really tight man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, well defended, and the fact that Manning didn't get a chance to step into his throw and actually throws it into the bench as opposed to his player's hands. But unfortunate now, because their Pella will have to punt the ball, and the last thing you want is for Xavier to have the ball again.
It's been a busy night for Rowe, and he just did get this punt off. Pella with a 3 and out. It's a punt of 25 yards. So much tradition in Pella, not just with football, but you go back to this summer, they won state championships in both baseball and softball, and they won the 2 titles a day apart. You don't get that too often. This has been a team that has been road warriors all season long, and now tonight on the road at the Unidome in a big hole. They will try to get Hoffman going, and he does into plus territory. Carter Hoffman to the 48. You know, you keep bringing up Dustin Cook, and rightfully so. He has been so good as he checks into this game as the lead blocker, number 5 for Xavier. And he's just a tough kid. He's an all-conference wrestler. The youngest of 4 Cook brothers to play for Xavier. His mom was a college softball player for the University of Iowa. Ryan, TJ, Adam, and now Dustin. He will try to pave the way, and he does. Big hole over the left side for Carter Hoffman. Unsung heroes. Unselfish football. You need them. Guys that don't care about the stats. They just want the most important number, or letter in this case, a W.
And the Saints have been running this offense for years since Dwayne has been in charge. And if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it. And Dwayne just understands that as long as our offensive line is winning that war, they will continue to throw the ball to a running back who can get you yards.
Good job that time by Gage Branderhorst. He was the first one to get the initial penetration, and that forced Hoffman to go a little bit wider than he wanted to, and that's where Aiden Halverson was waiting.
No, I always felt like small school, small college towns like Pella, and you take Mount Vernon or Decorah, having an advantage to having that college facilities that are available. We talked a little bit about this earlier with Iowa City, but the small towns that really have an advantage when they have a school there.
On second down, they lob it, and look at this. Hoffman looked like he was dead to right. 2 Pella players converging on him, and neither one could track him down. Nate Warner and Ty Van Vliet were both there, but somehow Hoffman eluded.
Yeah, and that's a risky pass in that scenario. That's one that typically gets batted around, and we've seen that get picked. But Hoffman, once again, showing his versatility.
You're going to win a lot of football games if you convert on third down like Xavier has tonight. 3 of 5 in this game. It's a 4-man rush. Bringing it back in as Parks. He's going to take off and run. First down, and smartly goes into a slide. Looked like he was going to be in some trouble. Nate Warner so close to bringing him down.
Yeah. Xavier got out of the I formation there. They went to shotgun look and spread the field, and well, we know the story. Cash Parks gets out and he can run the ball. He's a very effective runner, averaging over 5 yards per carry. Remember last week in the semis, he rushed for 170 yards.
Stretching first downs together, just matriculating the first downs as Xavier will use a timeout. Play clock was winding down, so they will stop the clock. 7:20 to go, third quarter. Xavier in control, 21-0 in our fourth. Our fourth state championship game today. And there's a good look at Nate Warner, Central Missouri commit, over 200 career tackles. He had 16 tackles in the semifinal. And you talk about a tough customer, coach. He plays with a chronic labrum issue, and it's a situation where his shoulder routinely pops out. He has to get it reset. In fact, it's so bad it pops out when he's sleeping. So every night he goes to bed, he has to put on a shoulder strap. He has his arm strapped to the side of his body. He had surgery on the shoulder a couple of years ago, and it was during the line of fire when they had the deep run in the postseason. So he played with the torn labrum and now dealing with the effects of it. You can see the protective shoulder strap on his right arm. That is one tough dude right there.
Yes, and he has a set of those spider pads underneath his shoulder pads to give him a little bit more extra cushion. But that kid is a player. He'll pop it out, and a play later, he's back out on the field.
Deep drop, deep throw, receiver out there, touchdown! Cash Parks gets into the act, his first touchdown pass of the night, and it's the home run hitter, Ryan Kelly.
Well, this was set up extremely well by the Saints. Run, 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 run. A little play action. Ryan Kelly going down the middle of the field. At first, I thought Parks underthrew him, but Kelly makes a great catch.
We kept talking about it in the first half. You knew that was in the back pocket for Dwayne Schulte, the connection of Parks to Kelly off the play action. Extra point is up and through. And Xavier picks up where they left off at halftime, 28-0.
Cash Parks with a nice spiral, just a little bit underthrown, but a nice catch by the Xavier receiver to put 28 up on the board.
th touchdown pass this year for Cash Parks.
You know, the interesting part now is the Saints coming into this game have gone 235 and 77, winning 75% of their games. We've talked about their state championships, 2006, 17, 18, 2022. You know, Coach Schulte is seeking one for the thumb right now when it comes to those state title rings. And he's had runner-up finishes, 2012, 2013, and 2022.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
From the 5, Tyson Roos curling it to the outside as he V-lines his way toward the Pella bench. Pushed out of bounds shy of the 25. Emmanuel Deers getting ready to come out for Pella. And this is a young man that has a huge heart and quite a background when you look at him. He was adopted from a tiny country in Africa. That's how he arrived in the United States. Came over here when he was 8 years old. His adoptive parents, Jen and Doug, well known throughout the Pella community. And Emmanuel, one of those players, he wears his personality on his sleeve, and you see the hard nose that he plays with each and every play, the passion he brings. And not only does he wear it on his sleeve, but he has a special person on his mind. You see he is decked out in pink, the pink gloves, the pink mouth guard. He has bright pink cleats as well, and that is all for his late sister Grace, who tragically passed away. And he says he does that to honor her and that she is always in his thoughts every time he steps on the field. Second down and 3 underneath, and that's a Pella first down. Up ahead they go to the 42-yard line. 11 yards to Austin Schulte.
That's a great play. They split the zone right there. A little banana route with the tight end to get him the ball. Well done.
Schulte, a familiar name. His father, the head basketball coach at Pella, and the great tradition they have on the hardwood. First and 10 from the far hash at the 42-yard line. Here they come up the middle. Manning does a nice job eluding, but then he is tracked down by Bo Moria.
The linebackers are so deep with Xavier, and that seems to be the tradition. Excellent linebackers, and I don't know how many kids they've had that have played defensively at the University of Iowa. It just seems like one after another. It was a Matt Nelson, who was a defensive lineman, went on to the NFL. And, of course, we talked about Quinn Schulte. Just outstanding talent.
Second down, Van Vliet, the motion man. They will hand it off to Deers. Deers into the second wave. Deers still on his feet. He has one man to beat. Deers with a stiff arm. Look at the power as he finishes his run. He delivered the punishment to Michael Bean that time. 46 yards, first down, Pella.
Number 71,
Well, the good news is Michael Bean can say, hey, I did take him down, but it was the hardest way possible because Emmanuel Deers just comes out with Derrick Henry stiff arm and throws the defender down. What power.
They had contained him up until that last play. 82 yards, the longest play from the line of scrimmage, and Xavier back to their old tricks here. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders circling number 1.
Austin Dustall probably the one that's the first contact with him, but just a gang of Saints getting together.
As expected, Deers a heavy part of the Pella offensive production. 132 all-purpose yards today. 82 on the ground, 50 through the air. Manning to the airwaves, looking, and it's broken up. Tried to sneak it into Harrison Mullins, but it was Lofswold who came over in the nick of time.
Yeah, well played by Lofswold. You're going to see him time this jump and get up and just knock it down, maybe with a chance to intercept it, but the biggest thing, it wasn't caught by Pella. Doing your job as a defensive back.
Manning thought he had his fade and Harrison Mullins, but Lofswold was there to break it up. Xavier, their fans on their feet. 3rd down. Delay. It is Deers trying to find any type of opening, and there's nothing there. Max Doherty, the emotional leader of the defense. High energy guy from the secondary with the stop.
Yes, and a little help from Sam Schimberg grabbing the ankles, which is probably the best way to bring down Deers, because once he gets his momentum going, he is so shifty.
Pella needs touchdowns, not field goals. Down 28. Offense stays out there. 4th down, double move. Manning rifles it, caught but shy of the goal line, and Xavier comes up with the stand. Michael Bean. 2nd-generation player for Coach Schulte. Michael's father played for Coach Schulte back in the day. And now the senior comes up with the tackle on 4th down.
Remember, Coach Schulte couldn't name all the kids that were 2nd generation. He was a little worried that there might be some 3rd generation right around the corner.
He was not too happy when we asked him about that. He said, I'm not that old yet. Shutout intact, and Parks in this offense with their worst starting position of the day from the 5-yard line. You look at this offensive line, and it's been very impressive. You have to start at left tackle with Andrew Platson, the team captain. There's a great picture of him in a local publication after the semifinal win. He was giving Coach Schulte a big bear hug, and I asked Dwayne about that. He said, yeah, I'm not surprised. This is our emotional guy up front. Has a little bit of a mean streak in practice. You need that as an offensive lineman. And they have paved the way tonight for Carter Hoffman as he inches a little bit closer to a possible record. Still a way to go, but on path. 177 yards rushing tonight for Hoffman. The record for 4A, 263.
Well, we still have a quarter left to play in 2+ minutes. He will get many carries yet.
3rd down, they line up quickly. It is Hoffman, and he keeps his balance and is cracked down, but not before he moves the chains. Man, he is just tough to bring down. How many yak yards has he had? Yards after contact tonight.
The second effort's incredible. Just when you think you have him down, he finds a way to finagle his way out of it. There, he does a nice little twist spin and gets 3 more yards.
One of those guys who has endless oxygen. Seems like he never gets tired. And every first down, pretty much a couple more minutes off the game clock if you're Pella.
And the incredible part to me is that Xavier is still able to run the ball with as many guys as Pella has in the box. It's just phenomenal that their offensive line can do that.
You mentioned all the linebackers throughout the years, all the different players heading to Iowa. Former offensive lineman Josh Volk, a Xavier alum, part of the UNI team this year. They run to the field side. This is Dawson Doyle with his first touch. Rex Ramey the stop. This team has played at a high level for Dwayne Schulte all year, but this performance tonight, nearly flawless. Delayed handoff and dropped at the point of attack. That time they were there. David Garner, who's been the best defender tonight for Pella. Another tackle for Garner.
Yeah, watch Gardner get his hands around him and just does a nice job of staying on his feet and trying to drive him to the ground. Lands on top of him, which is the key, that you are moving your feet as a tackler. Let's see if they come after the punt.
They have 10 guys up at the line of scrimmage. And here they come. They send all 10, but good job with the punt protection and a pretty good punt as well. Ramey from his own 45. Makes a couple of moves, a return of 12 yards to the 43 following the punt of 37. Best starting position on the night by a mile if you're Pella.
Yeah, Pella's had a lot of success in the past, and it was Jay McKinstry. We've talked about him, who was the head coach for 28 years. State champions in 2014, 15, and 16. And then they were runner-up in 2009, 2017, and 2024 last year, and coaches last year.
It's a pretty special bond with McKinstry and Ballard. Ballard was his defensive coordinator. He coached for Jay for 15 years. Manning uncorks it, broke it up, looking for Harrison Mullins. Michael Bean again with the deflection. But you go back to that relationship, Coach, between Jay and the new Pella coach, Ben Ballard. They have coached together for double-digit years, and Ben just talked about how much of a great role model he has been for him. Building relationships, really building men of character. Still lives in town. He goes to the games, but he's kind of an introvert when looking at Jay McKinstry. He will sneak in and out of games, does not want a lot of attention. This guy deserves a lot of attention as Deers picks up 10 to the 33.
Yeah, and if you know Jay at all, that is just his personality. He doesn't want to steal anyone's thunder. He's been doing it for a long time. And when you are, or like I was, you were the head coach, you really just want to get into the back seat and let the new guy take over.
He wants to go unnoticed so much that they even caught him sitting in the corner on the visitor side of the bleachers on occasion or two. Not cheering for the visitors, obviously. Nowhere to go. Manning now is going to take a shot. Jump ball, 50-50, and it is nearly caught off the deflection. Final play of this third quarter, and Manning said, why not? Let's try to put the ball in a place where my guy can make a play, and Vandenbroek nearly did.
The three guys had the chance of catching that ball, and it ended up on the ground. But Manning giving his receiver a chance.
Xavier 12 minutes away. Pursuit of their 5th state title. Pitching the shutout on a late Thursday night in Cedar Falls.
We're Iowa PBS. We cover Iowa and the world. We're market to market. And Iowa Press. We're high school sports. We're science. We're adventure. We're drama and mystery. We're the arts. And we're Iowa's storyteller. We're lifelong learners. We're family first. We're educational. We're trusted. We're valued. We're essential. Your support makes all of this happen. Give today at iowapbs.org/donate.
You're watching Statewide Iowa PBS.
Local, regional, and national artists take the stage to perform original sets and share their musical journeys on Studio 3 Live. Enjoy weekly performances Fridays at 8:30 p.m. online or as a podcast. So great to have you with us tonight. Fourth quarter, final quarter of football, and what has been a busy opening day from the University of Northern Iowa. The majestic Unidome here in the center of Cedar Falls. 28-0 Xavier out in front alongside Paul Yeager, field side, Coach Kevin Bowman, Sean Kinney, our fantastic crew, welcoming you back as we start this fourth quarter. Carter Hoffman, 185 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Cash Parks, touchdown pass, the only scoring in the third quarter, and that's where we sit right now. Pella, though, in good shape as the Dutch have it at the Saint 34, second down and 10. Deers takes it for 7, brought down by Schimberg.
And the Saints have played extremely well defensively, holding Deers to very minimal amount of yards in this game. And I think obviously they're keying on him, but if I'm a Xavier defensive end right now, I'm probably coming upfield pretty hard thinking I'm going to have an opportunity for a sack.
Back to Deers they go, and Pella will have fourth down to discuss what type of play they want to run here. Bo Morio starting to pick up some high volume tackles like he has all season.
Yeah, Schimberg and Mario, both those guys have just been all over the field. Fantastic linebackers, and not only with defending the run, but watching them get to their hook zones when they do their drops and passing situations. Very active.
They do it all. They can come downhill. They can do that Tampa style defense as you talk about, dropping back. Here they're going to try to come downhill on Deers, who got tripped up. But I think he stretched it far enough ahead to convert. See the official looking over. We were joking earlier, we never see a measurement anymore in this modern era of football. Somehow that part of the game has disappeared. The white hat looks over and he says, first down, Pella.
Virtual measurements. You know what's going on. This is where we're at today in the state of Iowa.
I miss the drama of the unfolding of the chains, the kinks. You know, there's little kinks. They have to re-stretch it out. Yeah, I mean, that's good television.
Right, and they wrap it around a player or a coach on the way. Yeah, that's really exciting.
Come on now. Deers crosses over the 100-yard mark. First down, Manning to the end zone. Receiver has a step and a great recovery at the last second. Boy, it looked like they had a shot at that, but Max Doherty came flying out of nowhere to break up Vandenbroek.
Yeah, Doherty's listed as a linebacker in our program, and he looked like a free safety coming all the way across the field to get his hand on that. Outstanding play.
Not a lot of real estate in the dome behind the end zone area. Good to see everybody all right. Doherty, a collision with the wall and somebody's expensive camera. Excellent high jumper. He was a state high jump qualifier. Spinning and pretzeling his way. Up ahead goes Emmanuel Deers. Pella into the red zone for the second time.
Well, they're going to be consistent. They know what they like to do, and the Dutch will stay with it. I do like the fact that they're throwing the ball occasionally, setting it up, but once you get to linebackers to soften up, the run will be available.
Vandenbroek, Mullins, and Ty Van Vliet all to the left. Now Van Vliet in motion. Deers cautiously working his way in. Now, the more you watch Emmanuel Deers, he is not committed to any school yet, but this is a guy that clearly, if he chooses and wants to go down the path, he will be a college football player at some level.
Well, yeah, and he's a senior. Like we said, he's already has 1,700 yards rushing on the season. And what a wonderful kid. And they say that he may be the funniest kid on the team. He has a great sense of humor, likes to joke around. Maybe he's a stand-up comedian if this doesn't work out for him.
4th down and 4. Michael Manning to the back of the end zone, and a tug of war intercepted by Xavier. Caleb Loftswold came down with it. Officials are going to talk about it. Initially, they signaled touchback interception, and that call is going to stand. This defense, they bend, but they don't break. 2 trips for Pella into the red zone. They come away empty both times.
Yes, Lostwood, the senior, 5'9", 160. Watch him battle to come up with this ball. Incredible timing, and it looked like it was going to be a jump ball where both guys had their hands on it, but Lostwood brings it in for the turnover.
Back to work. Play fake by Parks. He is going to launch it deep. Receiver out there making the catch in stride. 32 yards to the 48, Ty Weiss.
And this is what Xavier is really good at. They can throw deep balls better than any other program I know. It's because they have the tradition of running the ball up the gut, and then when everyone thinks it's going to be a run, the defense backs are coming up instead of going backwards, and they throw the ball extremely well on deep routes.
The ability to run the football opens up so many avenues, just makes an offensive coordinator's life so much easier. And now they will go back to the ground game with Carter Hoffman. Wayne Schulte, when asked what makes this group so unique, and he's always so humble in his responses, he says every year is special. Every year brings new identity with a new batch of players coming through. But one thing about this group, he says they are so fun to coach. There has been no off the field drama throughout the year. He can push them hard on the field, but when he is off the field with them, they have a really good time. And he's admitted he's eased up a little bit as far as his coaching goes. In his younger days, he was a yeller. He said, nobody matched me for volume. I was one of those coaches that would get in the student athletes' faces the right way, obviously for his success and the respect that he has in the community. But he says he's softened up a little bit. He doesn't yell quite as much.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes people don't understand when coaches are coaching you, they're trying to make you better. And sometimes it may be at a louder volume than what some people like. But the fact that if you're not coaching them, then it's time to get nervous as a kid.
It's a good point. You go unnoticed and you don't hear much from any of the coaches. Watch out. 3rd down. Misdirection play. Spinning his way up ahead to a 1st down and thrown forward to the 34-yard line goes Ryan Kelly. Taking a page out of the Hoffman playbook. Looked a lot like the senior tailback. Kelly moves the chains, a gain of 10.
Yeah, and there's a chance for him to get dragged down here, but he does a spin move, gets out of it, cuts back, avoids another tackle. 1st down.
That is the 21st 1st down tonight for Xavier. You don't see that type of number in high school football.
That is controlling the line of scrimmage.
Inside run, nets 3. Well, you talked about the multiple sport athletes. He believes in it, and in order to do that, you have to have cooperation among all the coaches. And this is a program that has some really big names helping out as assistant coaches. I mean, you have a Hall of Fame girls coach who helps out at the younger ranks. Jim O'Connell, part of the process, a state champion baseball coach who's working with kids.
And he's been the defensive coordinator for 32 years.
Throwback near side. Dustin Cook gets a touch. Cook, who has been the lead blocker for the majority of the night, rewarded with a little fullback screen, and it's a first down.
I'm wondering if Cook has said anything at all to Coach Schulte about, hey, you know, I'm banging heads all night long. Feed me just once. And look what he does. A great game.
Real quickly, the baseball coach we were talking about, Dan Alter, coaches the younger kids, one of the best coaches in the state. Tom Lilly recently retired from his head girls basketball position. Hall of Fame type career. First down, they swing it out quickly to the right. Kelly, he doesn't need much daylight.
Quick, extremely quick, out in the open field, makes a nice cut, accelerates, setting up short situation. No, it's first and goal.
Third catch for Kelly, 45 yards. Cash Parks calmly working the Saints down the field and very quietly putting up a solid night himself. 11 of 15 for 143. Carter Hoffman already has scored 3. Let's see if they go to him. Play clock down to 2, down to 1, and he is going to use a timeout just before it hits 0.
Well, we talked about the rich tradition of both schools, and the thing that hits me with Pella is you look at their staff. You know, Jay McKinstry was head coach for 28 years, and at the beginning he was head co-coach with Matt Schulte, and Matt is still on the staff and not related to Dwayne, but the two met like when they were seniors in high school running in a track meet. Both of them had kids that played football at Iowa, and it was interesting because you had 3 Schultes, Bryce and Quinn and Austin, all on the Iowa team.
Hoffman steps out of bounds. Real quickly, I stand corrected. They were not able to get the timeout, so they got tagged with delay of game, but Hoffman picks up that penalty yardage right back and then some. That last carry by Hoffman, his 31st of the night. 31 carries, 196 yards. They pitch it. Carry number 32, trying to cut it back in, but Gage Brandon Horse was there.
Dutch are still fighting. I like that. They're not going to give anything up. If the scenario with Xavier scores and connects on the extra point, it would be a running clock.
They want to put Wilgenbush split wide right alongside the smaller Kelly. Xavier had confusion. You could see the coaches along the Saints sideline trying to get the attention, and they are forced to use the timeout.
Yeah, that wasn't a fair matchup. You're looking at a 5'9" guy against 6'+". So I like that the fact that Xavier knew that was going to be a nice little fade route, and you had to call the timeout.
Ninth play, or excuse me, this will be the 10th play of this drive coming up. They've taken it 75 yards, and most importantly, they have taken off 7 minutes of this game clock.
That's a slow and painful death if you're a Pella fan. You just watch that clock wind down. It's hard to take, but credit to Xavier. Just an outstanding team. And, you know, one of the things that we need to mention, there's 36 teams in Class 4A, and you're number 2. Whoever loses this, and it's not looking good for the Dutch, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with being the second best team in the state. You've had a great postseason run.
I know there's no such thing as a perfect football game, but Xavier has played about as close to a perfect game as you can play tonight. Every part of the game. They wanted to go with the fade. Now he'll just throw it up near the pylon and broken up. Cash Parks taking a pretty good hit behind the play there as he had pressure from Halverson. DeHeis with the PBU.
It looks like they're bringing out their field goal unit. This would be about, what, 17? 22-yard field goal.
Ty Weiss, a little more than a chip shot, and he splits the uprights. It is good. 3 more for Xavier. And this crowd comes to their feet. The short trip over from Cedar Rapids. They know what's coming next. Another state title. For 50 years, Market to Market has been the news and commodity market information source for anyone who lives and works in rural America. Join host Paul Yeager every Friday night at 8 p.m., Sundays at 12:30 for Market to Market, the weekly journal of rural America, or stream online anytime.
Sean, in this scenario, as a head coach, you're talking about, I need to get these kids in the game. You know, what's the most important thing is everyone has their opportunity to play in a state championship game, and that's where I'm going to have to get my assistants together and saying, okay, I want that next group of offensive linemen, defensive linemen, whatever it may be, so they're ready to roll.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to get back. It is so tough. All the chips have to line up in the right spots throughout the course of the regular season. Then if you earn one of the coveted playoff spots, whether it's home or away, takes a lot to be playing in late November in Iowa. Both of these teams have earned it. Roosh from a yard deep, driven out of bounds.
Great form tackle by number 30, Rex Commenda, the junior, 5'10", 175 pounds.
Mention all the road trips this year for Pella. The rigors of a regular season. They traveled to Waverly. They went all the way to North Scott. They took a bus over to Marion. All 3 of those road trips over a 4-week span. They even had a bus break down before they left the parking lot to Waverly in week 2, which is always a coach's dream. First down, they swing it out. This is the return man getting a catch up to the 26-yard line. Goes Tyson Roos.
Some great blocking by his wide receivers on the outside. The Saints are in more of a prevent defense. They're trying to eliminate any big or long throws and runs.
You see Pella break huddle and their first-year coach, Ben Ballard. Life is funny. He told us he never set out to be a head coach, but he simply cared so much about Pella. As they take a shot downfield, and Harrison Mullins trying to split the zone, could not. Ballard told us he cares so much about Pella. His final year of football was in 2002 for Coach McKinstry, and he did so much for him as far as not just on the gridiron, but him as a person, and he just wanted to pay it forward. And Jay announced that the end was near for him as far as patrolling the sideline. He wanted to make sure all that hard work would not be lost. He almost took it upon himself to make sure, okay, we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, and it's a great thing when you are a former student athlete and you start coaching in your hometown and you just have that ability.
Deep ball, and Pella finds the end zone lane. They just kept fighting for the first year. Coach Manning with the touchdown, 74 yards, put it right in the breadbasket for Vandenbroek.
You can see Vandenbroek has some outstanding speed. He was able to clear away from the defender, and that ball by Manning was put right where it needed to be. Here comes my guy, number 65, Niall Rowe. Oh, I think they're going for 2.
Yep, Deers, Mullins, all their weapons out there on this 2-point conversion. I think they're short one guy, though. They only have 10 out there. Now the 11th body will come sprinting on. 2-point conversion for Pella late. Manning looking right. He put some air on it, going up and jarred loose at the last second. Michael Bean, as they tried to go right back to Vandenbroek, but something positive for Pella. Manning with a beautiful deep ball. Look at this touch.
Right in the spot where it can only be caught by your receiver. And I'll go back to that play on the 2-point conversion too. What a great play by Michael Bean, knocking that away. That's the thing about Xavier's defensive backs that played extremely well too. We're talking about the linebackers and the front 4, but just overall defensively, great game.
Xavier weary of an onside attempt. They have everybody up. 10 guys within 20 yards of the ball, and there it is, straight up the middle they go, and a nice pickup there. But did I hear a whistle before? Yes, I did. Flag is thrown. That was Morio who fielded it. Pella might have had a head start. Let's listen.
On the kicking team, cross the line before the ball was kicked. 5-yard penalty will re-kick.
It's all about timing, and one of the gunners trying to get downfield just a little bit too quick out of the gates.
And if I'm Xavier, I'm saying, no, we'll just take the ball where we recovered it. Official's going to say, well, it doesn't work like that.
They'll try it again, take 2, and Xavier comes up with it. Diving play by Dustin Cook. Now a little pushing and shoving after the play as Cook emerges with the football.
I'm not surprised. I've been mentioning his name a lot, and just I really like this kid and how tough he is. And he's a younger brother like I am. I had 4 older brothers, and what you have to go through as the youngest. Wow.
His brother Adam knows what it feels like to win a state title. He was part of Xavier's last run, talking about Dustin Cook's brother. He was part of the 2022 title team. It hasn't all been roses for Xavier in this Unidome. You go back to the infamous night where the lights went out at 10 o'clock. They had the battle with Council Bluffs Lewis Central that night, and all of a sudden a timer triggers the lights to go out, and it went dark for a while, and that's still a bad taste in the mouth for Coach Schulte.
Oh, and when you brought that up in the production meeting, I was afraid he was going to jump through the Zoom camera at you. He was unhappy.
He was. I was ready to bolt, and he still would have caught me. Second down, gaping hole up the middle for Dustin Cook as he rumbles his way to 26. And with that carry, Xavier ties a 4A title game record, 24 first downs tonight.
Wow. Let's keep this thing going, huh? how many can you have in a night? I also thought it was entertaining when we brought up retirement with Coach Schulte, and his comment was, well, my wife says, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, he thought about it. There's been a couple of times he was thinking about it after his youngest son Quinn graduated. His family said, no, like you said, what are you going to do with all that spare time? You need to continue coaching. So he did that. Then he had a daughter go through. He thought, well, maybe when she graduates it will be the time, but nope, not the case. And
now he brought up grandchildren.
That's right. I said you need to stay in there until your grandchildren come through. And congratulations to the Schultes. He is going to be a grandpa in early 2026. Kelly outside will take it up to the 11-yard line. 13 yards to Ryan Kelly. Inside 2 minutes we go. And that breaks a new record for first downs in a state title game.
You know, Pella has won a lot of tough games along the line here. They won that quarterfinal game against Decorah 7-6 when Decorah scored late in the game and then fumbled the snap on the extra point. They've been really solid. Davenport North 17-14. Just some real tough games down this season.
Little chippiness late. Let's try to keep it clean over the final minute 23 and counting. Xavier fans coming to their feet. This party's going to get started real quickly. Victory formation and a team that has flat out dominated anyone that was put out in front of them this year. Their closest game, you have to go back to week 2 with Western Dubuque. They beat Western Dubuque 21-13, but you look at what they have done in this postseason. My goodness, 47-0 over Waverly Shell Rock, 45-7 over a really good ADM team. Newton tested them 31-24 in overtime in the semis, and now tonight in the finals, the countdown is on for Cedar Rapids Xavier. From start to finish, this was all Xavier tonight, and the program has won number 5. Final few moments in year 32 for Dwayne Schulte, the 5th state championship for Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Hey, who would have thought that, Tom?
What a performance.
Yeah, congratulations to the Saints. Once again, being so dominant on both sides of the ball. And, you know, Pella just ran into a very tough team tonight. And unfortunately, they didn't play their best football. But finishing number 2, man, there's what, how many other schools? 34 other schools that would trade places with them to be in that scenario.
Some of the individual numbers tonight. Hoffman rushes for 207 yards. 34 carries for Carter Hoffman tonight. Cash Parks 11 of 16 for 143. Has the touchdown pass as well to Ryan Kelly. Handshakes all the way around. I see a family friend down there in green for Pella. Familiar face with the hat, the green bill, and the white hat. That's Seth Marburger. Perry ties with the Marburger family. His father, Dan, was an offensive lineman, a good one for Central College in Pella. Now his son, part of the Pella coaching ranks.
That's right. Dan was out of East Central, small school. That was combination of Miles and Sebula. And Sebula is the only island city in the state of Iowa. But Dan's wife, Elizabeth, and I worked together for 5 or 6 years at Maquoketa Middle School. Outstanding lady, and just feel for that family, and you know, what a tough scenario.
High fives all the way around for Cedar Rapids Xavier. They are all fired up, and they should be. What a season. They go perfect in 2025, and they are back on top here in the state of Iowa for the first time since 2022. They left little to doubt tonight. Just a few moments, we're going to check in with our Paul Yeager as he will talk to our star of the game. And I'm sure as you watch at home, you know who that's going to be. Carter Hoffman. He set the tone in the first half. His 3 rushing touchdowns, propelling Xavier to a 21-0 halftime lead. The defense holding serve up until late. And Pella hit the long touchdown pass. We'll also hear from Coach Schulte on what this means. That's all coming up on our post-game show in just a little bit. What a day of football, Coach. Started with 8-player and a couple of barn burners in A and 1A. This one a little lopsided in Class 4A, but yeah, 3 more big ones tomorrow to get to.
That's right, Sean, and you're working all 3 of them. So you are the man. You are the marathon man this weekend. That's incredible. But one of the things that I'd want to point out is if I was Mr. Carter Hoffman, I'd be booking my reservations at Peppers or somewhere here in Cedar Falls area and saying, hey, my offensive line, it's on me. I'm taking you out for supper tonight.
Absolutely. Good idea right there. The O-lineman will appreciate it. Let's listen in to the trophy presentation.
Your state runner-up finishes the 2025 season with a record of 11-2 in their 35th playoff appearance. Please help us congratulate the student athletes, coaches, and supporters from Pella. And your Class 4A state champion has completed the 2025 season with an undefeated season of 13-0, winning title number 5 in 22 playoff appearances. Congratulations to head coach Dwayne Schulte and the Xavier Saints.
(31-6), Cedar Rapids Xavier bringing the trophy to some of their students to showcase. Uh-oh, I think it might have broke on them. I'm sure they'll find a way to get it all patched together. It's a state title regardless as we swing it down to Paul.
Hey, thanks, guys. All right, Coach. Coach them hard. Don't be a jerk. You didn't have to work too hard tonight. It seemed like it was a heck of a ball game, though. Tell me about the moxie of this team.
They've just been a fun group to coach all year. I mean, like I said, you pre-interview like a few days ago. They're just a fun group to coach. They work hard. There's no drama. They don't care about themselves. They're totally team-oriented. Our scout team guys have put in a lot of work and make the starters better. just a really, really fun group to coach.
We're going to get Carter in a moment. Tell me about Carter Hoffman, what he meant to your team tonight.
Oh, he did great. I mean, I don't know how many carries he had, but he lugged the ball and did a fantastic job.
I'll tell you in a minute, 34 for 204.
That's amazing, and he'll be the first to tell you his O-line did a great job too, and AJ as a tight end helped blocking. So it's a total team effort, but Carter's come a long ways. He started for us as a sophomore and did a great job then too. So he's been around for a few years and just a great kid.
Congratulations,
I appreciate
Coach.
it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I see Carter, so give me just a minute. I got to go dig into him. This could be one of those crazy live interviews. We're going to try it. I'm going to knock everything down. I knew I'd get tackled at some point. I can't hear you upstairs.
Well, Paul, just make sure you stay clear of the offensive line because sometimes they will open up a hole. Maybe go find them, and they'll lead you right to them.
They're looking for one more pancake block.
Terrific work all
where's
morning
Carter?
And all afternoon by our Paul Yeager, setting the stage each and every game with his pregame and his halftime show and all of his post-game work right in the middle of a celebration right now for Cedar Rapids Xavier. This is a photograph that I guarantee you every one of these kids will be talking about when they're our age and beyond. I mean, you just never forget about your high school memories.
And they're going to say, why is Paul Yeager photobombing us in this scenario?
I got to get out of here.
This just doesn't seem right.
A perfect season, #1 from start to finish. Fighting Saints of Cedar Rapids Xavier. And the hardware put back together for now. I love what Coach Schulte mentioned in bringing up the scout team and some of the younger players and even some of the older players that may not get the reps. It's a team effort. That's the beauty of football. This is the ultimate team sport. You need everybody, and you need bodies to perform at a high level in practice where you can go good on good and have some of the depth to put together a performance like what we saw tonight.
Oh, definitely, and especially with your scout team trying to do what Pella does offensively and change motions and formation and do all that and be realistic so you can get that alignment and assignment all taken care of. And obviously the scout team did a nice job because Xavier was well prepared. Well, Sean, we talked about the state championships. A reminder that LaSalle won a couple in 1982 and 83. And then Cedar Rapids Regis was state champions in 1978.
They have been having success for many years as we check back in with Paul, who's made his way to our star of the night.
Carter, what did it mean to take those photos right there?
It meant everything. I mean, coming here, watching the 2017, 2018, and 2022 team, I just knew I wanted to be on the field and doing that one day.
I'm not saying it looked easy tonight, but you just ran and ran and ran. What was your mindset coming into a championship game?
Pretty much just get as many yards as I can. My linemen did their job. They all blocked for me. Everyone just did their job on offense. That's what helped a lot.
34 carries, 204 yards. Which stat do you like the most?
I'd probably say my yards because I couldn't have done it without my linemen or my whole offense.
Shout out your O-linemen right now. Tell me their names.
Andrew Platson, Andrew Renner, Travis Jasper, Keegan Kalanoff, and Xander Armstrong.
Do you owe him a dinner now?
Yeah, I owe him donuts.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's the champion.
Let's go!
Tonight, what a story. And what a day of football. Opening day of our state championship coverage. And the final trophy on this Thursday night belongs to Cedar Rapids Xavier. Two proud programs. The 9th all-time meeting they entered tonight, squared away at 4 apiece. But it was Xavier, the better team tonight. Don't forget 2A championship coverage tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., right back here at the Unidome. Alongside Coach Kevin Bowman, this is Sean Kinney saying good night from Cedar Falls.
Funding provided by
Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are committed to building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.